teaser before we even start. Oh my God.
I forgot to push the button. I was too busy trying to get on camera and everything. Oh my gosh.
I thought you were going incognito. I'm like, oh, this is new. Black screen. Like, no,
Well, I
we
had
just
to,
hear your voice from the ethers.
well, at least you could hear me.
No, hold on. I'm still tuning in telepathically.
I didn't know if you were reading my lips or not.
I am good at that too. My mother and I taught each other that trick when we would go out for dinner and we would listen and we'd be like, and my father though, he would never get a clue. He goes, "Hear what?" Like around, like, oh, Dad, man.
Well, it's good for when they bleep things too on the TV. It's like, oh, I know exactly what they said. Unless like they put the little thing on the mouth so that you can't see it, they blur out the lips. But oh my gosh. Okay, so yesterday or the day before, my computer was just moving so slow. And I don't think it was the computer as much as it was my browser. So I did the infamous cleared the cookies.
Oh.
And that just really screws you up trying to get back onto things, right? So I was challenged with that, trying to get back into this. And then last Sunday, I had an issue with my camera not working on here. So I had to do my I figured my meditation's not a big deal. You should have your eyes closed anyway, right? So my meditation was done without video. And let me see if I can just.
I was wondering what happened because it was like I got on because I love your Sunday morning meditations and it's and then it was like this video has ended and I'm like, what? Wow, it
Well,
really
I did
transported me because it was like 2 seconds. I had no idea I was out for that half hour. No, I'm just,
Oh,
no.
oh, okay. Because I was going to say it recorded. I did it. I recorded. So I had to try and figure out, and it was weird because I told you, as you can tell by the background, I moved to my new desk, right?
Yes. Oh,
And so I don't have those crazy mirror thingies going on in the background. And the camera worked fine when I tested it the night before, but when I got on there, it didn't work. So I was messing around trying to figure out how to get my camera working. And for whatever reason, now and it could be because I cleared the cookies, but when I got on here,
really,
I
really
just
loud.
I couldn't get into anything. It was like, okay, where's my picture? Where's my sound? Why are you doing this? And now this thing, what's it
It's
doing
the
now?
internet gods of chaos. It's a full moon. It was so
Oh,
beautiful last night. Oh my gosh. Mm.
that moon was so bright the other night. It was the night before last. It was crazy bright.
Oh, I went out last night because the weather's been perfect for sitting outside for the moon, like midnight. It was already in the 60s. It was just amazing. I was like, yes. And this morning it was 63 here. And then I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And then it's like 91 now. I'm like,
Oh, it's not 91.
oh, okay. Feels like 91. Wait, I'm looking at my thing. I'm going to
Well,
tell you.
I have to say, yesterday I noticed one of my neighbors had her windows and doors open, and I was like, and then I went, "Oh yeah, that's right. They're from Minnesota, and that this is really like I think their first summer here, maybe their second." And I'm like, I think they're still kind of settling in because I'm like, who has? Well, maybe you do have the windows and doors open right now.
No, I actually about noon, I heard the AC go on. So I told you about the fiasco with the AC, right?
No.
Well, we're like on our fourth. Yes, we talked about thermostats versus
Oh, the
thermometers.
thermostat.
And I
Yep.
went back and listened, and I'm like, man, I got thermostat wrong
The whole
about
time. I know
20
it was, you
times
kept
in
saying
that
thermometer. I'm
conversation.
like, that's why he said it'd make a really good drinking game.
No wonder I didn't hear from any of my friends for the rest of the day. They had to take a nap after doing that drinking game.
We
Oh,
gotta let her rest.
oh man, yeah. I did mine in sips of coffee. So the rest of the day, I was like, no, no, just
Oh
oh boy,
dear. So
yeah.
so you got your condition, it's you got
It
it, it's
it
going,
now
it's
we got
working?
the news. I bought a thermostat that just is an up and a down button. Okay. But it reads, when it reads 82, I have a thermometer in the house that tells me the real temperature. So if I set it at 82, the house is 78. If I set it at 81, 77. So I'm like, okay,
Okay,
I can live with having the wrong number on the wall.
right. As long as you're getting the right temperature to live in, right?
Right, right. And then we got new ducts put in a few years ago because Krista, my daughter, her room was always hot,
Oh,
always, no matter what. And so we had new, bigger ducts put in. And that room now, if it is 76 or 77 in the rest of the house, that room is it's like 71 degrees. Like, okay, it's okay. We'll just leave the door open. It eventually comes out, right? And I have to tell I have a friend visiting. Oh my gosh, a friend from before there were even cell phones. Like one of my first
wow.
room,
Okay, I have, you know what? I have 2 friends that qualify for that.
one of my she was my first roommate in Florida. So we lived in Coconut Grove long before there was any way of recording except by photograph all the things you did wrong. So if anybody wants to know, they can come over for coffee any day in the next week and hear the hair-raising stories of our adventures. But she's coming from Switzerland. Um,
Oh,
she moved back home,
fun.
um, and she'll be here just for a week or so. So I'm very excited about
Oh,
that. And
wow.
yeah, it gave me a reason to like really kind of vacuum up the dog hair. And I'm cooking today. Oh my God. Do you see?
I was thinking, I'm like, should I invite somebody over? And then I saw the dust on and I was like, I gotta dust first.
That is not dust. That is a surface protectant.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
Well,
it
my
helps.
furniture is well protected then.
It prevents scratching.
I don't think that's how that works though, because when you go to dust, you scratch. I think what you're causing is micro abrasions.
Oh, wait, maybe I should like roll around on the floor first and then
So anyway, another reason I was running just a tad late and getting my crap together is, oh my gosh. So our cat is a belly licker. He overgrooms, and he hasn't always, but he has definitely done it. I don't know. He's like, oh, where'd my picture go? 15 years old. Oh, okay.
I
There we
see
go.
you.
Okay. All of a sudden, my whole screen went black.
Oh, Mary Pat. Okay, talk about pre-photograph, like pre-cell phone. Mary Pat was also in our Coconut Grove days. We gotten lots of, she's like when I talk about some of the cars that had no Fred Flintstone cars, she had a Carmagia like that you just sat with your feet up. Oh my God. I love you, girl. Oh.
Okay. I blanked out there for I don't did you lose did I was I gone for a moment? No, I was here?
You were
Okay.
here, maybe not in, maybe part of you.
Okay. Well, hello to the people who are listening. So, so anyway, my cat is a belly groomer, has been for a little while now. And he goes through periods where sometimes he grooms more than others. And so I always have a roller ball with coconut oil and lavender in it, and I'll rub that on it. And usually it'll kind of heal it up and deter him for a little bit. And it works. But whatever's going on right now, he's like really going to town, and we just can't stay on him enough to keep him from doing it. So, because like right now, I'm looking out the window, and here he is in his little cat tree. He's got his little legs up, and stop it. He's just going to town. So last night, Misty and I decided we got to do something. And I had seen this before. Pet shops sell it. They're little onesies for the cat. They're like $30. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for a onesie. And it had cleared up, so it was not a big deal. But yet the other day, Misty, she's like, yesterday, she says, "Hey, mom, look what's on Reddit. It's a picture of this lady. Her cat's in a onesie, and because he's an overgroomer, and it's working." And I'm looking at how she did it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. We could do that. So
You
I'm
could
thinking,
crochet one.
yeah, you don't crochet, do you?
I saw by your face that was not it's
That
really
wasn't that wasn't gonna happen. Well, Misty had suggested it too. All right.
all
And
right, Misty.
I'm like, I'd have to crochet a neck opening and leg openings and a butt opening, and I'd have to be spot on. And I'm like, I just, you know what? I don't think,
How
and it'd
big is
take
your
me a
cat?
while. Huh?
How big is your cat?
Well, that's where the story is going, because what happened is, so last night I'm like, well, let's just go buy a pack of onesies and do this. And so I'm thinking he's 16 pounds. Okay, so he's a big kitty cat. So I figure 16-pound onesie, right? 6 months. I'm thinking 16 pounds is probably 6 months. I'm like, he's probably a 6-month-old baby size.
What do they have, the drop butt?
Yeah, they has little snap butts. So how they had it pictured is you turn it around backwards so that the snap part's up by the head. So you cut a hole for the head and it snaps here. And then the head, what would be the collar area, the neckline, is the butt area. So you don't have to worry about them going potty, right? And their little legs go through the arms and leg holes. And I'm like, easy peasy, I can do that. So I'm thinking 16 pounds. He's probably the size of a 6-month-old baby. We're good. We get those things home. We did the Target. I ordered it online from Target, zipped over, picked it up, and we get it home. And I'm like, dang, this thing isn't going to fit him. They're too small. I'm like, how can it be too small? You're bigger than a 6-month baby.
I was asking because we have one that's made actually for a dog, but I'm wondering if it might fit your cat. I will set it aside.
Well, I was measuring my cat because I'm like, well, maybe if I just measure them and go into the store and measure the onesies. He was laying down, so I don't know. I was trying to stretch him out when I was like, "Ooh, I gotta get on."
They're so cooperative like that.
Right? And that's why he's licking, because I disturbed him. But he's like 17 inches from the base of his neck to his tail, and to the base of his tail. He's 17 inches. So I'm like, so I guess he's a bigger boy than you don't really realize how big they are until like when I take them to the pet store, vet, take them to the vet, and they would have a cat there, a little one-eyed cat that would roam around. It was their like little mascot office cat, and she was so cute. She was like a third. She was full grown. She's a third of the size he is. He's a tabby. he's a tabby cat.
He's a
And
well, you know what? I'll measure mine, and if it would work, you're welcome to it. Um,
okay.
yeah. So, but yes, I'd be
Do
interested in seeing.
Does it have a good size butt? It has to cover his belly.
Um,
And I know some of the dog ones don't cover the belly.
I can go get it. You want to look at it?
Let me
Just
look at it.
hold on, everybody. I know where this is.
And I'm gonna check. I gotta figure out why my screen keeps going blank. We're I can't believe the technical difficulties. So, anyways, should I tell a cat story? I wish I could show you what that cat's
It
doing
might be too
outside.
big. It might be too big. This is the butt size.
That might be too big. Yeah, that's way too big. Yeah.
We had gotten it when Mona was having her cancer treatment,
Oh,
so that
yeah.
we couldn't lick her
Oh,
her.
Mona's really big. Yeah, she's a lot bigger than this guy. He's big for a cat, but not that big. Oh, cat. Oh, he's just.
This is
Oh,
the
hold
name of
on.
it. Wait,
He's gnawing
Maya
my.
Odudu. Maya Odudu. That's the brand name. I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. Ah, ah,
My doo doo. Oh.
Maya Dudu.
There you go.
Yeah, that what a name, huh? Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I was, in fact, right before I went and measured him, I was on doing Google searches. How do I, how do I measure a cat for baby clothes? Which, so when I looked at the onesies on the thing, they don't, they measure from the length of I forgot that, measure the length of the child, not the length of the body,
Oh,
which makes no
so head
sense.
to toe?
Yeah, which makes no sense,
Right,
right?
because a onesie is from neck to butt,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if your baby has really long legs, you're not going to have the right size onesie. So yeah,
Oh,
so
onesie with legs. Can't get the onesie with no legs?
oh, I can, yeah, but they have one sizing,
Right.
which is
Okay.
height or months or weight. And then again, he's 16 pounds. And so I did the 6 month, which 16 was on the high end. So I don't know. Like I said, I think the best way to do this is to just measure them and go in and measure the onesie.
Oh, you're going to be one of those people that opens the package.
Nope, these set guys are hanging on a
Okay.
hanger
Okay. Because
because we got them, so they're on a hanger,
good.
and
I could tell I was concentrating on what you were saying because I'm like, oh my word, is that a river flowing through it?
I know I've got a single crease. I've had that single crease for
I
I
had a
think
friend who was
since
always telling me,
I think high school.
I'm like, you know what? That's how people know I'm really listening.
Mine's a single crease because I grew up in a family where I was always like, I can't be related to you people.
Oh gosh. Oh,
So anyway, so that's what's going on. We're going to get a onesie for the boy, and
we need pictures, you know that. I
oh,
need actually to get Misty to take a video of you putting it on.
but you know
That's
what?
that's what I want to see.
We did cut the one, even though, yeah, because they looked like they would probably fit. Okay, and I figured they'd stretch, so we cut one. So it means I've got 3 to donate now. But we had one, and so I cut the hole, and we put it on him, and he wasn't real thrilled about that, but we got it on him, and it was super tight, and I'm like, "Oh, this isn't gonna work." And then he was hysterical watching him walk. He was like,
Oh, like when you see those videos of the dogs that have the booties on, they're like, ah.
just like that, and then finally he gave up and fell over.
Like that's it. From now on, you have to move me.
So, it was too tight. It was hampering his forward motion of his legs, and I
Uh,
was afraid he was gonna get hurt jumping.
right, right. Yeah.
So I went, "Okay,
Big,
that's not gonna
big.
work. We're gonna have to go bigger." So,
And maybe the fabric too, like fabric. Huh. Fabric.
did Michael put something in your coffee again today?
No, unfortunately, this is the problem.
Those days when you trip and the movement of your mouth, and how certain words didn't flow as
Uh,
readily as
yeah,
others.
I ah, those were the days. I remember when I used to go out at night, and if Mary Pat is still here, she could testify to this. I liked to drink coffee drinks, like Jamaican coffee drink or whatever, because
Irish coffee?
you had a little bit of a buzz from the alcohol, but the coffee kept you going, you know? So,
Yep,
yeah,
yeah. Did that work for you?
absolutely. Right, Mary Pat?
Were you able to say fabric?
I could say it is fabric. It depends where you grew up. I grew up in a little bit of who knows where in my imagination. I still grown up in my imagination.
Yeah.
Thermometer, thermostat. I'm getting it. Fabric, fabric.
Do you say
Same
library
word.
or library?
Library.
I
What do
grew
you
up
say? Library?
I till I
Li-
think when I got in college, I learned that it was library, not library.
li- Do you say water or
Water?
water? Water with a D? Water.
Water,
Or water?
water, water.
I like water.
Water. Yeah, I have a bit of water. Water.
Uh, yeah.
I think I told you before, we like to watch Taskmaster,
You did say that.
and it's a British thing, and so that's fun in and of itself, just British humor and everything. But there's been some spin-off ones. So like New Zealand has one. And I can't remember if I told you New Zealand, you think English. How different can it be, right? I can understand the Brits. I can understand the Aussies. Nope, not New Zealand. Man, they put some E's where it's like, what is that word? What is that word? I had to learn a whole new language.
Right, right.
And
But
then
when
the
you
other
listen
one,
to it long enough, do you start finding yourself like coming out with those words because you've been listening to the show for a little bit?
not so much with that one. Not so much with that one. I do with the British one, but not like where I find I start using their words. Like I'll say, I haven't used boot yet. But I have said like the car park, and I'm like, car park, where do I live?
You left it in the boot at the car park?
Yeah. Yeah, the dead body, it's in the boot, in the car
Oh,
park,
yeah, yeah.
in the garage.
Yeah, I think that'll be happening here because it was Michael's birthday last week, and Krista got him a subscription to BritBox because he likes all of those shows,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so you hear it in the background that it's like,
I
okay,
love British movies, and shows. Then, the other one, oh, there's, we watched a couple of different ones that have I always get these confused, and I apologize to the
okay.
Irish and the
The one I
Scottish.
don't get is when they say all the time they use this. Any joy yet?
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, all of the like co-op shows say that when they want to know if there's been some progress on the case.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm
I'm not
like,
familiar with that one.
that is the weirdest thing to say. Any joy yet?
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with that one, but I wanna say Scottish?
Scottish.
The
Oh,
Scottish is I and like I said, I sometimes get Scotland and Ireland folks, their vernacular mixed up. One of the two does not pronounce TH.
hmm.
So when you watch their shows, there's the tree kids
The Tree Kids.
on the or tree this or the turd that or they go tear. It's funny because it's just like it's like tree kids.
I remember
Where'd they come from?
when I lived in Miami and I was tutoring and I would drive around and talk about libraries. I would get the CDs, books on tape, and back then the Outlander series, which is now on TV, but back then it was books on CDs, and I, all of a sudden I'd start saying stuff like, "Oh, yeah, you're just a wee lassie."
I watched Outlander there for a while and it was good. But then after a few seasons, it started getting real repetitious. I'm like, okay, how many flippin' times can this girl get herself in trouble and expect to be saved by this guy?
Oh,
And how can he keep getting beat up to a bloody pulp and look even better the next time?
you know, I think they're actually filming their last season. I read the books and then I did the books on tape. I've not I didn't have that whatever it was on, whatever we didn't have that. So I've missed a lot of that because um now it's back to you're watching, there's ads now again on the television. I don't mind if it's a free station, but when you're making me pay to watch the ad,
Right? I know.
I have a problem
I
with
I
that.
hear you on that. I hear you on the if I pay for it and you're gonna show me commercials, it ticks me off.
Oh, me too. Houston, we have a problem.
I know. Well, it's like the radio streaming ones too. There's Sirius, let's just call it what it is. You pay for it. It's supposed to be commercial free. There's commercials. There's
Right,
commercials. They let their channels have commercials. And it's
right,
like you can't promote your business doing this if you're not. But I'm tied into it for my car because I do like to listen to radio classics when I have to do long drives, and I
right.
like to listen to Joel and that kind of fun stuff. And I apologize, my friend. Well, there's a hi, Amber. Amber says hi, Denise.
Oh, hi, Amber. I hope everything worked out with your folks today and their pool. I saw her earlier on Facebook.
Oh,
We were supposed to chat, and she is such a good daughter.
aw.
Yeah.
I'm apologizing for I didn't realize that your picture was little enough to the side. I fixed us.
Oh, I didn't realize it because it didn't look that way to me. So I'm wondering how it looked to everybody.
I don't know, but I fixed it at least for the way it looks for me now. My screen keeps going black. I still don't know what that's all about.
You're being censured. That I pronounced correctly.
Censored or censured?
I think it's censured. Is it?
Cen-
Hmm. Do they mean two different things? You know
oh,
what?
are they
We will
spelled
Google that.
differently?
We don't even have to go to the library anymore. We can just Google everything. Were we talking about that too? How to getting those dictionaries out? That's how we built our muscles because they always put the biggest dictionaries on the top shelf.
I remember I always would ask a question and the answer was always look it up.
Yes.
Look it up.
Well, now, yeah, okay, I will.
And now it's really easy. It's like, never mind, I'll look it up.
Oh, I love your proactivity. I think that's right too.
But yeah, those dictionaries were getting heavy there towards the end.
Yeah, yeah. Then they came in volumes because you couldn't fit all the new words in one unless you got the shortened Cambridge edition. which was only 5 pounds. Oh, you know what?
Um,
Our
huh?
I don't know, just flew right out of my head. Hold on.
I hate when that happens.
Oh,
Is it trying to go into sleep mode, do you think? When
it
plugged
says,
in, turn off my screen after 5 minutes. Is that what's doing it?
huh, that's very odd. You might have to change those settings. Did you update as well as just clearing your cookies?
Um,
You're better at those things than me. I
I
call
didn't think it should, that's the thing is when I had it clear the cookies, it should have just should have done it for the browser.
right and not your set.
And yeah, like I said, my system, it did do an update recently. So maybe that's it. All I know is maybe my computer said, "This is the last move. Do not try to move me to another part of the house again." I don't know. So I
When
turned it off. Now it'll probably never turn off. So
I have mine set for not turning off, I have to manually put it to sleep.
yeah, I'm not a fan
And
of
that's
that.
kindness, right?
What do you do? Strangle it? Grab it by its little throat and shake it around. Go to sleep.
I might have been guilty of that once or twice, especially when I'm trying to work on something and then it goes, oh, that didn't save.
Oh my goodness. I'm not, I don't think I want it. I'm going to put it back to, I'm going to put it on 15 minutes. Let's see what that does.
Maybe it's telling us we're on our allotted half an hour because last week
Yeah, right.
we got carried away with those thermometers.
An hour later. I'm hot. I better turn the fan on. Oh
Oh,
my goodness. My friend. It has been, it's 36 minutes. The first five, we weren't even recording. First 5 minutes, we weren't even on.
that, you know, then we're perfect as
That's
as
what I'm
usual.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're perfect. Yeah, we're always perfect.
Oh, okay. So do you know this song? Wait a second. Oh man, it was just on the tip of my tongue. I can't wait to look in the mirror. I get better looking each day.
Ah,
To know me is to love me. I must be a hell of a gal.
I do, I do recognize it. It just wouldn't be a Friday without you serenading.
Yes, especially when I don't know all the words and don't quite carry the tune.
You had enough, you know what? You had enough of the tune that I picked up on it.
I
But
am
when you said the mirror, I was thought you were going to the man, the Michael Jackson "Man in the Mirror" song.
yeah. Oh, perfect in every way. That's the right.
Okay,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Ah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love you.
yeah.
And thank you everybody that hopped on today for our silliness. I just
I love you
absolutely love it.
too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely this time when we do the onesie on the cat, I'll have to have a camera ready so we can
I am
post some
looking
pictures.
forward to hearing all about it. I think that perhaps with the onesie, the cat needs to make a guest appearance next week.
Oh, you're asking for a lot. You forget he's not a friendly guy.
You know,
The vets won't even work on him. The
we had
vet
we had a boy like that, Charlie. He was, and I think I told you this story where the vet was like, we had an emergency with him one night, not our normal vet who was always like, Michael is coming, right? Because Michael was the only one that could hold the cat ever.
oh, see, they won't even let us hold him anymore.
Oh, well,
We used to,
yeah.
but they were like, "No, we're not comfortable with you holding him."
Oh no, they begged us to hold him. And this vet thought, no, no, you don't see the sign. He's like, he's pointing to the wall. Like you don't see the sign, like a little bit of a derogatory, like snide. And Michael's like, okay. And Krista and I just look at each other and he puts his hand there. And does Charlie not get him exactly in the vein in 1 second? Like, and it went and that vet was so mad. He was like, you could see him, and we're like, well, you
Oh,
know.
you could put chainmail on to hold him one time. They have these gloves that have chainmail.
Oh, I have not seen that. Wowzer.
Finally, they were just kind of like, um,
We'll use a blow dart gun.
now they just don't even see him. They say, take a picture of his belly, and because one time it got bad, so they said, send us a picture. I sent a picture, and they prescribed the medication.
Well, that's kind of like humans now. They're like, okay, you tell a doc, whatever that is thing,
Yeah, they would give us stuff to kind of make him drowsy and
right.
more pliable, if you will, and he'd still. And then I'm like, he's all growl. Look at him. He's a limp noodle. He's good. But man, as soon as they took put their hand in, he was just a ball of fur. And they were like, nah. They're like, are you sure you gave him? I'm like, yeah.
He was snoring a few minutes
If
ago.
you pour him out of there, he can't walk.
Oh,
And they're like, well, we're not touching him. And I'm like,
yeah. They have their personalities just like people. There are people I'd like to give something to keep them drowsy. Oh, did I say that?
make them wet noodles. Here, be a wet noodle for a while.
That's where the blow dart would come in handy.
Or what did we say? Shake them. Go to sleep.
Yeah, somehow that never works, right? All right, I gotta run. I'm gonna hop off,
Yeah.
and oh my word, I could laugh for another, I don't know, hours
We
with
need to connect on that question you asked me about on the book
yes,
thing.
yes, yes. That's
I have
my
some tips to give you. We
good.
can just,
I can pass on.
call or something, and I'll just kind of
Okay,
let you know or something.
perfect. Thank you. I
Love you,
appreciate you always.
sweetie. Have a
Love you too.
fantastic weekend. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I almost
Woo!
forgot.
Oh, the Revenge of the Fifth. That's where other people are going. They didn't celebrate May the 4th be with you, Yoda.
Yeah.
Today they're putting up stuff of Revenge of the Sith. Is that right? Instead of fifth?
Yeah, but I think that's tomorrow.
The Sith.
6th.
No, well, people are celebrating.
I don't know. There is a Sith one, but I don't know if it's on Cinco de Mayo Day. I don't know. Or
um,
maybe they're inventing something that's funny.
I'm like, whatever you want to celebrate, I am good with it. I will
Yeah,
celebrate with you. Come
especially
on.
if it involves margaritas. No salt.
Margaritas and lightsabers, I'm in.
On the rocks.
Oh, okay.
Toodles.
Toodles. Love you.
Love you.